Last time on Almost Heroes.
We were confronted by a new individual with some guards talking to Kazmo's mom. We approached and they were like, "Why do you have a giant red hand painted on your home?" That's when we met Constable Chav Hunter. Was a nice person. Some of us like him, some of us don't trust him. We then talked to Rangrim, who is the owner of the Boulder Fist Mining Company and also the person that can let undercommon people in and out. We decided that we're going to build a franchise around a hot dog cart. And when it was all said and done, we went to meet Rangrim, and he was dead. We
Pretty
like
dang
30
good.
minutes of the episode was hot dogs, so I feel like that was pretty close.
And with that, I think we can start with episode 11, Red Handed.
Glyn sees his head drop. Cosmo's standing like right by him. Character or this assassin person just disappeared.
Right.
I look to Glyn, looks at Cosmo and goes, "Cosmo, we're gonna need you to run some interference while we figure out what the hell just happened."
Aye. We might want to look at the dagger in his eyes, and I guess I'll go buy us some time. I mean, should I bring him right back? Maybe I should go get Chav.
I would say maybe just stand in front of the door and make sure no one comes in. But if you think you can get to Chav before they decide to come in here, spears ablaze, and I think that's a good idea.
What do I feel like it's gonna end up making it. They're gonna point the finger at us. So let's take a
They're 100% going to point the finger at us.
let's take a look at the body, eh? And then we'll go get some help.
Sounds good. Rangrim, in your medicine expertise, would you say the dagger through the forehead is what killed him?
Not even rolling. He just like looks at. I'm pretty sure that's what would have killed him, but I actually would like to investigate the wound and see if there's anything spurious about this dagger or the wound, or if this is just like, yep, he got stabbed in the forehead.
Before you do that, I will go to the other end of the hallway to the front entrance, and I'm gonna just like stand there with my hand on the doorknob.
Okay, so let me describe the situation or the room just a little bit more. So it's essentially like a 30-foot hallway that ends in a probably 15 by 15 foot like circular area where his desk is in the center, which is a kind of a long table, and it's right at the end of the hallway. So it's essentially just like a big long hallway with a circle on the end, and then there's two really, really heavy double doors that go into this, and there are columns running down the length of the hallway that are essentially built into the wall. So there's no room behind them, but you can just hide behind them essentially.
So there's 30 feet on the other side of these double doors that I'm standing in.
No. There's 30 feet from his desk at the end of the hallway to the double doors.
Down the door.
So I'm 30 feet from them.
Yes.
I'll allow it.
Are you moving? Okay, so are you going and you're holding the doors?
I'm just gonna go stand with my hands on the doors. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. As soon as you get close, you start getting close to the door, you hear someone that is talking from the other side of the door, and they're saying, "Hey, is everything all right in there? Brongren, I heard shouting."
Crap.
Rangrim's gonna go over to Cosmo and just be like, "You got this. You got this." And I'm just gonna touch him on the shoulder and cast guidance, and then run back to the other end of the room.
Brongren, what's going on in there?
Ah, crap. What? All right. Well, whatever. Okay. All right. I open the doors and I say, and I look really frantic, and the guards, and I say, something's happening to Brungren. You come quickly.
Okay, the two people you see on the other side of the door are there's a heavier set human that's pretty heavily armored. He was. You haven't really dealt with him very many times, and then there are 2 other regular guards, and it seems like the guards have essentially brought this other person based on the yelling. And so, like, so all 3 of them are following you inside the room.
Right, yeah. So basically, it's just like, Rangrim's been attacked. He needs a medic. He needs help.
Yeah. So they're running down the hallway then into the room. And
when I see them coming down the hallway, I like do my best to just act as concerned for Brongrim's health as possible. Like, I am just distraught. I'm like, oh no, Brongrim, we were gonna do such great things together moving forward in this good relationship that we had. And I'm like shaking him like, get better, Brongrim. And I looked at him and like, get help.
So you see the kind of heavier set, heavily armored human with kind of like long sandy blonde hair. They go and they grab they like pick Brongrin up and they hold his head up, and they can see that the knife is like stuck through his eye socket and essentially out the back of his head. And they put him down, and he just says, "Arrest them immediately."
We didn't do it. We were for
like, who is this guy? And I didn't do it.
The 2 guards immediately. So I think the ones closest to them are probably going to be Kazmo and because Rangrim, I believe, was by the body. So I think Kazmo and Glyn are going to be the closest that they're going to move to arrest first. And the heavier set guy, he pulls a hand axe out of his pocket, or out of his off his belt, and is just, don't you move. You were the only ones in this room. No one else has come in or out.
Well, that's not true. When we walk into the room, there was a guy right behind him and put a knife in his head, and then he disappeared. And then I came running to the door to get you. We were in here for 5 seconds, and you heard no noise. There was no struggle. There was no fight.
All right, roll a perception or a persuasion check
with guidance.
Also, my accent is struggling because I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. What am I rolling for? Persuasion. With a D4. Okay. I'm also going to use my luck here.
Oh,
dang! Right off the bat.
Well, I rolled a 2.
I support it.
So,
means a long rest is in our future.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Much better. Eat shit. 22.
Oh wow.
Okay. All right. We haven't seen anyone come in and out of this room. You're coming with us. You're going to the stone cells, and we will figure it out there.
I will come with you.
You're not leaving.
I will come with you, but you will not put me in irons because I am innocent. I will go down and we will talk to Chav. We will talk to Constable Hunter. We will talk.
Constable Hunter, you're not going to the Imperial cells. You're going to the Boulder Fist cells, the stone cells.
Well, I want to speak with the council. You can't prove it.
Oh, you'll have plenty of time to speak with the council. You actually would know. Actually, you would know that this person that you're talking to is known as Evan Chesk, and they are one of the 4 council, the 4 captains who runs the mines.
The people that are standing in the room?
Evan, yeah, the bigger, bulkier guy who has the hand axe out in the heavy armor.
I'll be honest with you, irons aren't really my thing either. I'm more of like a rose gold or maybe a platinum. So if we could just keep the irons to ourselves, we'll happily walk with you. We have literally nothing to hide, but I don't see myself sitting necessarily behind bars, maybe unless there's like a drink on top of it. But in this situation, I don't think we've done anything wrong. So maybe you can bring your counsel here. There's a nice desk, there's lots of space. We can maybe have a conversation.
You can either come with us and you can go down and stay in a cell, or we're gonna put you there by force.
See,
Rangrim is dead.
Yes,
We
we
need to
can
figure-
all see that. That's what we were trying to tell you when Kazmo ran to the door and whatnot. We're not. I don't think we really have to go anywhere. Kazmo, can he make us do that?
Well,
he's starting to kind of look a little bit nervous, the fact that you aren't coming with him. And he looks over at the guard and then says, "Are you going to come peacefully?"
Well, let me ask you a question there, friend. Do you know what an Uber Hulk is?
Of course I know what an Uber Hulk is. I know that they're second none to the Lift Hulks.
Right. Do you realize that one attacked this town about this time yesterday?
Yeah, of course I do. Of course.
And
Listen.
and let me ask you this, friend. Hold on. Who stopped them? Who stopped them?
Understandable. Yes.
Right. You think
the three of you.
No, you think that you three little puny men want to come in and tell us that we killed Rangrim, the father of my friend's father. You want to think that that didn't come out right. My father's friend, Rangrim. You want to think that I killed him? I was just around him earlier today. Ask the men. It was cordial.
It was very, very.
There were
cordial.
guards with him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. He seems to be calming down a little bit. He seemed like he was about to send someone running for help for more guards, and he kind of lowers his hand. He's like, puts his hand axe is more down to the side now, and he hangs on his belt and goes, "All right, listen. Just come with us. We won't put you behind the cells, but you need to come down into the lower levels, and we need to have a conversation. You don't know how big of a problem this is.
Right.
With Brongrin essentially was the power in this town and kept the peace. There's going to be a lot of problems if we can't figure out between the captains who is going to be taking his place. And right now we need to figure out who killed Brongrin, because if it's not you, that means there's a murder on the loose in this town.
Right.
And that is the first thing we need to focus on.
Right. And right now, we in this room is the only one who knows. So I don't think that we just solved the problem of who will be in control. We will have the conversation. We will tell you what we know. We have no reason to skip town. Right now, we was the only things that is saving this town. So you put us behind bars, the next time those bells ring, no one will be there to save it.
All right.
And I don't think we actually got acquainted. My name's Glyn. If we're worried about keeping up the illusion that Rangrim might not be dead, I might have a solution for that. And I cast Disguise Self and turn into Rangrim.
Yes.
And then I do like a jaunty little like dwarf dance.
Come on, that's not. We don't dance like that. Well, maybe the surface ones do.
Captain Chesk kind of walks back like a couple feet. Is like, that's absolutely horrifying what you've just done. Can you please not do that? Can you please change back? That's absolutely important.
Is it because you're holding him at the same time?
Dunk.
I drop Disguise Self and say, well, now that we realize we're on the same side, I've spent a good amount of my time actually trying to track down cases like this. Me and my friend here, and I point to Rangrim, he's a Watson's of sort, if you will. If we can actually just take a quick look before, maybe one of those other captains who might be vying for power gets their grubby hands on the corpse, we might be able to tell you some answers.
We will find. Maybe we can try and find a lead based on the dagger of who killed Rangrim.
You can keep an eye on us the whole time, but give us a minute. Let us do what we do best. We've solved most of your problems since we've been here. Let us solve another one for you.
So he does seem like you've persuaded him at least to the fact that like you're not a danger. You're not going to try to kill them and flee out of here. You're acting in a way that it would be contrary to being guilty at this time. So he doesn't believe you. He doesn't know whether or not you did it or not, but he doesn't think you're a flight risk. And so he sends one of the guards over to essentially stand outside the door. He goes, all right, you have a couple minutes. Let's do this. Let's collect whatever information you need. And then let's go down into the lower levels and we will have a real meeting and try to figure out what's going on here.
Right. How do you suggest we get the body to the mines?
I would prefer if the body stays here, even after we go down below. But if you need to inspect it, you need to look at whatever you need to do. Just be respectful. This is a good friend of mine. Just
as he was of mine, we will uphold the greatest respect. You can send a guard along to prep the meeting, and we will come when we are finished.
Oh, I'm standing right here.
Oh, that's fine. You stay right here. Will you just... All right. Well, Rangrim, what do you...
all right, I guess I'll take a look. Glyn, I need a hand from you. And I'm gonna like lean over and just like look at. So his head's on the table. There's like the knife through the back of his head.
Yep.
I'm leaning over, and under his breath, Rangrim says something muffled. Oh, Glyn.
I lean.
Hold
leans
this.
in close.
Hold this.
What does he hand me?
It's a hot dog with one bite taken out of it.
I hold it like it's the most important thing in the room. Like I'm like almost like a scalpel. I'm like, anything, we got this.
Then I'm gonna lean Bongrim's body back. Is there anything else about the wound or anything about like the nature of it? Was this definitely just like a stab through the face thing? Like from a wound and clerical standpoint, would there be like signs of struggle or anything like that? Poisons of any kind, or?
So I mean, if you want to pull the dagger out and inspect the dagger, then that would be, you can totally do that. Or are you trying to leave it where it is and not do that?
I'm gonna like look at it, and I'm gonna look back at the other dudes, and I'm gonna slowly start pulling the dagger out of his head and gauge their reaction on how bad of a move this is.
I'm giving thumbs up while holding a hot dog. Whatever that looks like. It looks like this.
Just
do it.
They don't seem to be making anything, so but then I forget to carry his head, and his head hits the ground again. Or the table.
Well, easy, Rangrim. Easy.
Cheska's just like, oh no. Oh, God.
Well,
let's hurry up, please. Come on.
Kazmo moves in. He's like, well, maybe we should just rest him gently down onto the ground. And I put his body down on the floor. Mm-hmm. Just not.
Ches goes over and actually pulls a kind of a tapestry off the wall and brings it over and covers him with it.
Okay, so I would then lean down and go to investigate the wound. And was it the heavy armored guy's name? Chesk?
Chesk. Chesk.
Chesk. So Rangrim would lean down, then I want to actually investigate the wound on his face for any, I don't know, anomalies.
Roll a medicine check.
So Rangrim would lean down and then take the knife and look at Chesk and go, hey, hold on to this. And he throws the knife at him.
Well,
okay, hold on.
Why would you do
Chesk
that?
catches it. He doesn't catch it. at all. He rolled an 8. It kind of cuts his hand a little bit, and then he drops it on the ground. Actually, it doesn't cut his hand. He's wearing gauntlets, so it kind of just he can't really catch it, and it falls down the ground and sticks into the carpet.
Kazmo picks it up and looks at it.
Okay, Rangrim, what did you roll? Either a nature or a medicine check.
I did a medicine check and I bombed. It was it's a 7, but it's because I rolled a natural 1.
Okay. Oof. Yeah. With a natural 1, I mean, you're like, oh, there's a hole in his head. That's crazy. With looks knife shaped.
That's how he died. The knife and what went through his head there, Glyn.
We solved another one.
Kazmo, you're inspecting the knife.
Yes, I am, but
to be fair, probably be a little bit better in Rangrim's hands to inspect a forged item, but totally go for it.
Well, I mean, he totally seemed...
He'd throw it, yeah.
I just trying to interrupt the awkward.
Oh, that's fine. Like, throw it back at the low dex dwarf. Nothing bad will happen.
I thought I had advantage or something on history checks, but now I'm not sure.
Stone cutting. If you have advantage on history checks to stoneworks, it's a dwarf thing.
Oh, okay. I was like, thought I had advantage on some kind of roll, but whatever. I'll just see if I get a nat 20 or something.
Glyn hands the hot dog back to Rangrim.
Oh, you're not eating this?
No. I figured you wanted to keep that one.
It's a
extra sanitary.
It's a history check, or what am I in? Okay.
You can do investigation if you want to, but history check is investigations.
They're both
like you're gonna.
They're both intellect. Okay. So a 6 is 16.
Yeah. So you're looking at this knife. It does seem like that there is something that is like sheening, like almost like a pearlescent sheen on the blade a little bit. Mixed in with the blood, almost like an oil slick kind of coloring.
Does it have any markings on it?
Yes. So the blade itself is like a straight, sharp point, just kind of tapering straight down. It's not like not
like an ice pick
angled in any way. Yeah, like an ice pick, essentially. And the handle, the metal itself is like a darker material, like a darker kind of steel, and then the handle itself seems to be carved out of like a obsidian stone, and then on the end of it you can actually see on the end of the pommel there is the symbol of a spider that is embedded in that the end of the pommel.
Do I see anything else on it?
That's what you see.
While they're throwing knives at each other, how observed is Glyn at this moment? Like, is he being like watched closely by Chesk, or is he just kind of like trying to not get hit by a flying knife?
Yeah, Chesk is not that. He doesn't. I mean, he seems concerned and is kind of keeping a watchful eye, but he's not like hawk-eyeing you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So Glyn, like, kind of during all this chaos, I'm guessing this desk has drawers to it.
It doesn't actually have drawers. It's more of like just a big, sturdy table, like a kind of like a longer desk kind of table situation.
Are there like documents on it, or is it like a pretty clean desk?
Nope. Yep. There's documents kind of spread across it, kind of haphazardly.
Okay. So while
some bloodier than others.
Yeah, right.
Weird.
While all is going on, Glyn would kind of take like a step back to be about like 6 inches, like a foot behind the table, but like still kind of in the circle, if you will. And with his mage hand, as slowly as and sneakily as possible, he's going to start like shifting and reading as many of the documents as possible to see if he can't find something tied to like if there's like a list of names that are allowed to pass through. Like, I'm looking for like Rangrim's name. I'm looking for like basically like any type of content that has to do with like who's allowed to pass through.
Right.
And I'm also looking for Brongrim's seal, and I'm going to try to commit that to memory too. Like his like
investigation check for sure.
It's not bad. 16 plus investigation plus 5, so 21.
Yeah. So you're able to look over the paperwork pretty quickly, just kind of scanning over it, and mostly it just seems like different reports based on what the different teams are doing. Essentially, like you can see they're almost organized in different different groups and categories of times and dates, and also the different captains and their reports that they've been handed in. You do see names at the top of most of these, and you do see Evan Chesk, who is, or Captain Chesk. You do see a Sigrid Boulderfist, a Gorman Windrove, and a Mokin Bluntjaw. And I can spell
One more
those
time,
for you if you'd like. Yeah, so
I got Sigrid. What's after that?
Yeah, so Sigrid Boulderfist, Gorman Windove.
Great name.
Wyndove, and then Mokin Bluntjaw.
I like that you don't choose to spell Mokin for me.
Mokan. And Mokin's handwriting is the most childish of all of them.
Tight.
It's very scribbly.
So it looks like mine. Okay. Okay, those are the only names that I see kind of pass.
Those are the ones you see at the tops of them. Those seem to be, the captain's names.
Okay. Do I see like any affiliation to like one runs security, one runs inventory? Like, is there any like identifiers to what departments like those captains helm?
You don't see anything like that. You do notice that they do seem to have different duties and different sections of the mine. Different kinds of materials seem to be, and this is of course like you're looking over this thing quickly, so like you just see there's different materials that they're all turning in. So like different, maybe they have different sections of the mine or whatever that they're have different kinds of minerals and whatnot that are produced there. You do see with that really good investigation roll though, you do see that on Brongrin's finger essentially is a really big ring that seems to have a seal in it that is like has a little bit of wax in it.
Okay. I then start to like just openly weep, like super loud, like just absolutely crushed.
Well, I see Glyn. You're just like weeping?
Just cry. I'm like, oh, Brongrim, we were going to accomplish so much. And I just like collapse to because he's on the ground, right? I collapse to my knees next to him and I grab his hand that has the ring on it. I'm like,
sleight of hand.
We're going to accomplish so much.
So right as I see this happening, like I notice that Glyn is being super weird.
not himself.
And I take the dagger and I turn it towards Chesk. And I say, oh, Chesk, have you ever seen this spider thing before? Look at this mark right here on the dagger. Have you ever seen this?
Oh yeah, that's really weird. Hold on, roll a sleight of hand while we're looking at this knight.
Rangrim is walking over to.
Am I being helped? Do I have advantage?
Yeah, Rangrim walks over and
he
taps Glyn on the shoulder and he goes, there, Glyn, it's gonna be okay. While he's finishing his hot dog, and I give Glyn guidance.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh man, I needed that guidance.
Maybe
one more time. Plus one on the guidance. I got a 12 plus 1, 13. Sleight of hand plus dirty 20.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, you're able to slide this while you're holding onto his hand. You're able to kind of slide your hand back and take the ring with you.
Tight.
It's like a big bronze ring, the size of a quarter is how big the seal is. It's very gaudy.
And I tuck it into one of my sleeves as he patted me on the shoulder and he just stands up and like, we just this morning we talked about accomplishing so many things together. And I give Rangrim a hug and just pretend to sob into his shoulder.
Oh, there, Glyn. It's gonna be and I'm patting him with the rest of the hot dog in the back. It's gonna be okay.
You traded in his cigarettes for hot dogs.
I can't wait till he starts pulling out boot hot dogs. It's gonna be really gnarly.
Boot hot dog.
So,
I don't even know if he stoops that low.
So obviously Chesk has no idea what the dagger emblem is. So I kind of turn to Rangrim and I say, Rangrim, when you're done consoling Glyn, will you look at this dagger?
Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I will go over to Kazmo and take the dagger from him, and
I stop hugging.
you're so clingy.
You have advantage on whatever check you're doing, by the way, and that'll become clear. Hopefully, if you roll well, why?
Okay. So I was gonna say, mostly looking to see if like the runes on it I'd know is like anything magical that would be inscribed into it.
Mhm.
From what I might know about making magical things. And good God, did I need that advantage? That would be a 16. And did we decide what was the roll was?
Yeah, I mean, I would guess it's probably going to be history. I mean, it's essentially knowledge of like forged items, which I know that you're a forged cleric, so I think I don't know if there's a better way to or something else to add.
Mhm.
But
I would say, yeah, history would be fine, but that would still just be a 16.
okay, I think
Makes
that's
sense
totally
to me.
fine. You, from your time spent in the Underdark as a Grey Dwarf, you absolutely immediately recognize this as a drow weapon. And you would assume that the poison that's on it, that you can kind of like faintly smell, is definitely like spider venom, drow poison that is common in the Underdark. The symbol that's on it is the symbol of Lolth. That is like, I mean, it's an old weapon for sure. It's at least, it's at least 50 years old since before the Sundering. And the handle, it like the dark metal that it's made from is an underdark metal material that's forged down underneath the ground, and you know that it's also a material that kind of decays as it is above the surface. And the kind of handle, the black handle, is like a dark obsidian, which is common to craft within the Underdark as well. So like this is you're like, yeah, this is a drow dagger that probably was used for sacrificial reasons at some point, but that's probably its origins. But things have gotten so chaotic in the Underdark since the Sundering that who knows, whose hands it could be in now.
Absolutely. Okay. And I would recant the general gist of that back to everybody being from the Underdark, knowing that it is that spider symbol obviously is a drow weapon, symbol of Lolth, all that good stuff.
Ooh. Fine.
Glyn is wiping tears from his eyes, like
Performance check.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
That's not
Yes.
good.
Please do.
Oh,
Oscar Hunter over
19,
here.
19 plus 1, a dirty 20.
Yes.
Nice.
Let's go.
He's
Part
wiping
rogue,
that-
part bard.
Yeah, right. Just kind of wipes his eyes, like, is that spider venom? And I like taste it a little bit, just like a touch of the tongue, and it kind of like goes numb on my tongue. I'm like, that's some good spider venom. And I like immediately just drop the facade of crying. It's like, well,
spicy venom.
Chesk, I think we've basically narrowed it down. That's none of us because we don't know how to make this crap. But sounds like maybe you guys have had some enemies down below, considering everything that's been fighting its way back up. Any
And if
Underdark assassins sound familiar to you?
I think that maybe we need to have a conversation with some of those people that are living beyond the wall. That's what it sounds like to me.
When you say
There's a couple drow,
conversation,
there's a couple drow down there. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, but they can't even get up here. I mean, I'm from the Underdark, but I came from a totally different place.
That's true. That's true. Even Rangrim himself told me that the people down there wouldn't be able to pass through the gate.
that's a great point, Kazmo. What who can control that information? Because you might want to be looking at whoever might be able to bring up an assassin more than where the assassin
Right.
might come from.
That's that word you told me, Glyn. Motive.
That's it.
It was on the hot dog wrapper, I suppose.
No, it was on the hot dog wrapper.
There's no one that controls there's no list of names that are people allowed. Well, I guess there is a list of names, but it's not a piece of paper of any sort. It's people are given, once you're given permission to pass, your name is magically inscribed and you are added to essentially the list of people who are allowed to pass beyond the wall. But
Ooh.
so you are correct. I don't know how they would have been able to get permission to come up, but
Why don't
that's
we
something
look
we
at
can look
the
into.
list and see what the last name that got inscribed
right.
and whatnot on it is?
That is a great idea.
I imagine that list doesn't change very often. So before we make it on down into your little your prison, if you will. Why don't we make a quick pit stop, and I'd say maybe invite one or two of the captains too, if you're really nervous about it. But we're not going to hurt you, Chesk. You seem like a nice guy. You seem like you're, focused on finding what's right. What happened to Rangrim?
All right. Well, I think that we need to. I'm going to take this information, and the captains will have a meeting.
Right. Well, we I got a good look at the guy when we came into the room. I tried to swing my hammer at him, and he disappeared. But I didn't see his face.
Can you describe him for me?
Right. Yep. He was. I'm kind of looking for a reach back. He was like a short, like a dwarf, right?
Short, stout, white hair.
I remember the mask. I remember the mask, but I know you said. I just didn't write it down.
Yeah, they're like a stockier build, shorter, stockier build, not like completely beefcake status, but a little bit leaner than that.
Right.
But black armor, that's kind of a mix between leather and metal, and then they have the mask on, of course, and then the kind of longer white hair.
Right. Well, I would say all of that, and then I would say that, I would say that he was wearing a mask with a red eye on it. It was right in the center, and then it had some red markings down the side, and it just kind of like made like teeth on the bottom, and it had little slits for his eyes. But he, right as I swung me hammer, he disappeared. You could even see the mark right there on the wall where I missed. I would like that. I would presume I hit the wall.
Yeah, I'll bet you
probably made a big old chunk.
Yeah, clanked right into the wall. All right.
If it wasn't for that, we would have a dead thing on our hands too.
All right. I don't think that we need to take you down to the cells. Please don't leave town.
We're going nowhere.
I know that you don't seem to be planning on it. Let me just take the dagger. We're going to talk between the captains, and we'll come up with a plan of what to do next and how we want to approach this situation. I think that that's as good as we can do for right now. It's pretty much dark at this point. There's not much day left. So
right.
The thing I'm worried about is the fact that if what you're saying is true, there's still a killer on the loose in this town, and clearly an efficient one. Rangrim is not an easy person to take down. He's lived for hundreds of years and has weathered many battles.
Well, if I can provide some advice to you, Captain, I would say that I don't recommend any of your other council members do much alone until we find this killer. I suspect he's up for leadership, and we'll be looking for high-profile individuals like yourself. Me and my friends we're not going nowhere. We're going to try and find some leads as to maybe where he would have gone, and we'll figure something out.
Chesk, before you leave too, you did mention that list that wasn't scribed. Maybe we could do some groundwork early. Maybe have an answer for you before this meeting's said and done with the captains. Where can we find this, and can you give that permission to us to find it or to see it? Excuse me.
The problem is the list is not inscribed in any language that we currently understand, and it's deep below the ground and is heavily protected. Right now, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt to stay in town.
Right.
But going down there is not an option for you right now. But
very well.
We'll take a look, and we'll see what we can do.
Where would you like to? When would you like to meet us again? Then
we'll come find you. We need to take the night at least. So,
right.
Let's reconnect in the morning, and we'll send someone out to find you.
Right. Well,
we'll be staying at Luther's Legends.
Okay. Easy enough.
Well, and just know that we want to find this murderer just as much. Rangrim was a big part of my family, and we'll find his killer and bring justice.
All right.
Guess we leave the room.
Yeah. So
Guys
Chess.
start walking away first.
Yeah, Chess kind of. They seem to be. He's kind of moving over to Brongran and is kind of just putting him in a little bit more, like covering him a little bit better, and then seems to be talking to the two guards, and then seems to kind of start following you guys out the door shortly afterwards. But and posting a couple guards up at the door, and then walks out, and you can see him kind of walk as you guys are walking away. He's kind of walking down into the lower levels and enters at a lower door. Goes kind of into the same complex, but just
in the Boulder Fist mining area
complex.
The complex. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we just, I would start, or I guess Glyn would get to the front door, looks at the guys, say, Cosmo, I figured we'd stay at Luther's. We don't want to bring this extra attention. Your mom, she's already a little worried about you. I think we
need to go check in with Mej and see if Luther's back, or we can go down and check on Joro and
I think right now going into the mines is out of the option.
Right.
It is like just, I mean, it's probably like just after, like maybe an hour after dusk at this point, I would assume.
Yeah.
So that's kind of when you guys headed over there. So probably like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, something like that.
I have something I want to take care of back at our little compound too. So I can meet you guys back over there if you guys want to check in on Madge, make sure Luther's in town. But I'll see you guys over that way. And I start walking towards Luther's Legends.
Yeah, let's go see if Luther's back, Cosmo.
Right.
We're gonna head to Madge.
So you guys are heading over to Luther's Legends?
We're
the Iron
heading
Woman.
Iron Woman.
Okay.
Yeah, me and Rangrim are headed to the Iron Woman.
Okay.
Number 5.
Awesome. What are you looking to do, Glyn, over at Luther's Legends?
Thank you for asking. Since I tasted this poison and I recognized it as Underdark spider venom, can I, in the alchemist's lab, use my poisoner's kit to ultimately make either an antidote or a version of the poison itself, preferably an antidote?
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time, but you can definitely start doing that. You're able to kind of, I'll say that right now, within the period of time you're working on it, you're able to clear, there is blood and venom on the blade, but you're able to kind of get the venom off as well as the blood and then kind of separate it.
Wait,
and,
do I have the dagger?
No, you would need it though. I don't know if no, you guys don't have the dagger at all. So can't do anything
just
with it.
in my experience of making poisons, and
I don't think so. You also don't have any experience in the Underdark. So, and these are like, this is Underdark specific poison.
Okay, so does the Alchemist Lab have any type of content, any type of books, or is it just is it only beakers? And
yeah,
I
think
start studying venoms.
Yeah, you can definitely start reading into that and doing a little bit of research on the venoms. And while you're doing that, we will move over to Kazmo and to Rangrim. Moving over to, so as you're getting closer to the Iron Woman, you actually can see that Madge is outside, and she's like, "Hey, what's going on over there? What's
going on over where?"
Seems like there was a decent amount of movement over by the mines. Is everything all right? How did the meeting go?
Well, we should probably talk inside. Is Luther back?
I don't think so. Where did he go?
I don't know. He said he had to go leave town for a little bit, but
And we figured if he told anyone, he might have told you.
Yep.
No, I haven't. No, I haven't seen him. But it doesn't surprise me. He's headed out. He does that from time to time.
Well, let's go inside. We have to talk in private. So we go inside, I guess.
Walk. Yeah. So I mean, you go inside the Iron Woman. It's it's essentially a big open room. There's a bed in the corner where Rangrim sleeps from time to time, but it's a forge. So there's like the the forge is kind of set up in the corner. You can just it's warm and stifling in there with anvils and different benches, and then there's like the hot forge that's burning kind of low right now. It doesn't seem like it's fully active, but it's definitely like it's hot in here.
Kind of more of a question for the other guys. How much does Maj know? I really don't remember. Because we had that
shit for me.
We obviously sat down at that table and had the conversation over beers. What did we tell her?
She does not know about like your dreams or the symbol on my hand or like any of that kooky stuff. I think we've still been playing this whole thing pretty close to our chest. I think the only people that know about any of that are the three of us.
Yeah, she
You
knows
guys
public
clammed
perception.
up. You guys clammed up pretty much.
Oh, that's
immediately, so she
right.
sat
That's
down at the
right.
table.
I remember like we were talking and she tried to come over and interrupt,
you
and
hit the coin.
I hit the coin. And that's right. Okay. Right. Okay. So she knows nothing basically at this point. Okay. Well then, here we go. Well, Mej, I think it should be kept between the three of us right now, but Rangrim was assassinated today. Just as we went to meet him, there was some assassin in the room.
He's dead? He's like dead?
Yeah, right in his face.
Yep.
Oh fuck.
Some masked dark assassin of sorts. When I tried to fight him.
A masked assassin?
Yeah, I don't. It might seem crazy. It's just as crazy to us. Somehow, me and Rangrim and Glyn, we managed to talk ourselves out of irons. Who the fuck knows how? Because I thought for sure we was gonna have to. We was the only one in the room. We thought we was gonna be tried to be pegged guilty, but we're working with the people, the council, to try and solve it. But right now, that really must stay safe between the three of us. Can I trust you with that, Maj?
Yeah, of course you can trust me. You're gonna leave this up to the captains? The captains are fucking cutthroat. They're gonna kill each other just trying to figure out who's the next person who's gonna run the mine.
Well, that's why we came to talk to you, because we need Luther back, and well, clearly you didn't know he was gone, and we need him back.
Well, I'm not his keeper. Of course, he takes off all the time. How do you think he got his busted knee? Which, by the way, Rangrim, I saw this. Is this mithril you left in here?
Mm-hmm.
Is this you got that for his knee?
Yeah, we're gonna fix his knee. Yeah, we're gonna do it before,
Nice.
but he said he was off to do whatever it is he does when he comes back all banged up. I figured we might have a nice new knee for him, but knowing his state, we're probably gonna need to.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take a little bit of time with, she's like going through it and pulling. She's like, is this some old lady's jewelry? What is this?
Yes.
Don't ask how we got the mithril. The point is, we got it.
Did we get the mithril from Pops or from the
From the reliquary of the goblin
reliquary,
lady that you
the
still have
goblin
not
lady.
asked her name.
We do not know her name.
We
do
don't
not know
don't need to know her name. We don't.
We don't.
True.
You know that great the goblin lady? She got all the weird little things, and she gave us
yeah.
a bowl of it. She said, "This is all my mithril," and it's all bits and bobs.
The
but
one that's always screaming about her treasures and whatnot. Yeah, that
it's
one.
But-
screaming.
Right, we traded her for some other things that we found when we was around, and she gave it to us, so it worked.
It's great. That's awesome. Yeah, so can we get back to the fact that pretty much the
Right.
most important person in town is now dead, and that is
Right.
bad?
Right, yeah,
Stupid dead.
it's super dead. Let's talk about it. So, what do you know about the rest of this council? We met Chesk.
Chesk is probably the most normal of any of them. He's kind of quick to anger, kind of an ass, but he's essentially, I don't know. You have Boulder Fists. I don't know if it's a cousin. I don't know what it is, but Sigrid, she is a nightmare. absolute nightmare to work with. Just completely flies off the handle all the time. Gorman Windrove, he's this like wood elf or something, but
He's an elf.
Is yeah, Gorman. Yeah, he's an elf.
That's weird.
He's kind of like the black sheep of that group, and
Clearly.
he showed up a couple of years ago and worked his way up to captain, but I don't know. And then Moke and Bluntjaw, I don't even know if the guy can tie his shoes. There's no one in that group that I would put in charge of that mine.
Well, let me ask you this. Are any of them real raw fighters that you know?
I can handle my own, but I wouldn't want to cross swords with Sigrid, that's for sure. When I say swords, she actually uses 2 maces, so I don't. Moken is probably the strongest of them, but he's so stupid that you probably could talk him out of it. And it's kind of what we're looking at here.
Right, and then there's Chesk. Tell me, what do you know about Chesk?
Chesk he's just a fighter. I think he was a highwayman for a long time, and I really don't know that much about them. A lot of them are actually, have just kind of come through town and worked with the Boulder Fist Mining Company, and I really haven't had much to do with them. They run their teams underneath the ground, and I don't know if you, I would assume you probably had more to deal with them than anything, but I don't know if you worked on any of their teams in the past, Kazmo.
As much as I like to say I might have, I'm not really sure right now because the DM hasn't told me.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Let's just say that you've worked with Chesk the most.
Right. That makes sense because I was able to talk me way out of murder.
Yeah, and I would say there's a little bit of a separation between them, and they're more like reporting, and there's levels of separation between them and the actual miners.
Oh, I was like, puppy? What? No puppies.
Oh yeah, Dan's dog.
Yeah, she's great.
Oh yeah, my dog's here now.
She is not a DOS dog, but she might be. Anyway, the mascot, perfect.
I would leave it. I would just leave whatever the hell they want to do up to them. If shit starts going bad, I have a feeling that Sigrid probably is going to take over, and that's not the best for us. But also, Brongrin was not the friendliest either. She's probably the closest to him.
Right. Well, what do you think the chances are of me throwing in with the best of them?
That's canonical. Her laughing.
Don't laugh at me, Rangrim.
Oh, I mean, Madge, she's funny.
Yeah. No, yeah, totally. I think that you should go and just throw your hammer down at that thing and threaten and challenge them all to a blood death battle. I think that's what you should do. Totally. So, Rangrim, can you see if I can put some money on that?
Yeah, I'll make sure.
Well, you see, mining's in me blood, as is fighting. And, well.
She like hits you on the back pretty hard. She's like, hey, I'm not downing you, little guy. I'm just saying that you got your work cut out for you if you want to inherit the Boulder Fist Mining Company.
Well, I appreciate the fair warning. We'll see what happens then.
She's just kind of like still chuckling to herself, like, "Oh my god, that was a good one. You really got me with that. Hold on, I need to recover from that. My cheeks are just hurting so much." So what the hell are you guys gonna do now? What? So you're saying there's an assassin that's still there? I mean, if you guys didn't kill him, there's someone in town that did. So,
well. That's certainly, like I said, certainly seems to be after high-profile individuals, so maybe he'll take some of the captains for us. But if you're not so fond of him, maybe he'll do away with
I'm not fond of them, but I don't want everyone to get murdered either. So I think that maybe.
Well, you
I mean,
seemed okay with it, so it was about 5 seconds ago.
She
Well,
did,
okay.
does she?
She did. She did.
All right, a little
They
bit.
did.
Okay, a little bit of bloodshed. It's fine. It's fun. It's great. But systematically murdering all the captains of the Boulderfish Mining Company is not something that I would actually prefer if I was going to choose. I'm not going to put them on death's row or anything like that. So,
Oh well, you spoke so kindly of them before, so
no, they're assholes for sure. Glyn, you hear the door upstairs to the Luther's Legends building open and then shut.
The front door to the building, not like the super door thing.
I assume you still have it open, so you can just hear the door shut and echo down the stairs into the sanctum.
Does it close automatically? I thought it closed automatically.
I don't think so, because then you'd be locked down there.
I just assumed there was a handle to open it back up.
I mean, would you have closed it? I'm assuming it was
Probably
the
not.
staircase was still there. It was still open. But if you want to close it, you can. There has to be a way to close it. I do agree with that.
Probably not. Okay. And so I'm at the alchemist table reading. I would have positioned myself originally with my back to like a wall, so the entryway into that alchemist room is still in front of me. And I just kind of ring out, hello? Is anybody there?
You don't hear anyone right away, but then you start hearing someone coming down the stairs.
I would draw my double-bladed scimitar and say, hello? Are you there?
Use your dark vision.
Hi, it's me, Kazmo.
Hi, Kazmo. How the hell are you, man?
He's, you can see now that the figure coming downstairs does look like Kazmo, and they are kind of like coming down the bottom of the stairs, and they're not like walking towards you, but they're are you what are you doing down here?
Oh, what am I doing? Where's Rangrim at? He said he was gonna accompany you over at the Matic. Is he with you?
I'm not 100% sure. I think he might be still having a drink or two.
Ah, gotcha. Did you meet him over there, or how'd that work out? He tends to drink me under the table. That's why I came back, and you know me, just books.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're just doing a little bit of studying down here, are you?
Yeah. I was trying to see if we couldn't figure out, maybe a little bit more about that venom that we found on that blade. Remember the funny little dagger we found.
Right. Yeah. No, it's a great idea. And they're getting closer to you. They probably closed about half the distance of the room now.
Do I recognize? Is it like the exact same outfit? Is it like look just like him?
Do a perception check or investigation.
I will investigate that outfit.
Does it fly? Do I look fly?
Does he look fresh to death?
Yeah, so it looks like the exact same outfit that you would have just seen them wearing.
Okay. As they get closer.
One thing you do notice, though, is that there is no warhammer on their back. War pick.
Okay. Cool. I
think that maybe Rangrim wanted you to come meet him over at the Matic. He sent me down here to come grab you.
Oh, did he? That's wild. I figured you might have stopped over and grabbed one of those little like sandwich thingies. What do we call those? I can't remember you were starting this little franchise with our buddy over there, but I can't remember what it's called. You want to go grab one first?
Yeah. Let's go. After you.
Ah, man, you lead the way. I'm gonna just pack this up and I'll meet you right up at the top. But I'll follow you out and just give me a couple seconds. I start to like close the book and put away like the beakers and whatnot.
So they kind of walk up to the table, and they as you're kind of putting things away, they kind of knock one of the beakers off the edge of the table, and they're, oh, sorry, just such a klutz.
Oh man, I've always known that about you. I've actually been reading a lot here, and I found something that's pretty interesting. Kind of a little.
Oh, is that so? And they're getting closer. They're like kind of edging their way kind of around the table now, towards your side of the table.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting fact. It's do you know what a beholder's favorite food is?
I know exactly what you're gonna do.
Oh yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please.
No, what is it?
Oh man, it's crazy. It's ice cream, and I cast Tasha's Hideous.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, let me do. I have stats. Hold on. What kind of saving throw is it?
The wisdom saving throw.
That is a 17.
Damn. So it's a 13. But they know that I cast it.
So you say your punchline, and then they essentially, like, as soon as you cast that, you see their face just like shift from kind of like laughter to just a face of like serious. Just like immediately it drops all guys, and you see that they reach behind their back and just pull out 2 daggers and are coming right at you.
So I draw my double-bladed scimitar and say, it's not that funny, I guess. And I like take a swipe at him if I have the initiative, but I'm guessing we have to roll for it.
Well, so let's keep this a little bit more casual here, since it's just the 2 of us. So
sure.
I'm rolling, since you used your Tasha's Haze Laughter, I'm going to roll to attack you. That is a 16 to hit.
Am I wielding my double-bladed scimitar?
I mean, you're able to pull. You're like pulling it out as they're diving towards you.
Okay.
So
then no, that doesn't hit.
Okay. Oh, it did. Oh, because you have lower AC. Gotcha.
Yeah, it changes once I'm wielding it.
Okay. Yeah. So
hit.
they dive towards you and kind of slice with one of these daggers, and you're able to move back. So then you're able to get your scimitar out, and you can use it to attack now if you want. If you want to roll for attack, or if you want to do something else.
Neat. I look Cosmo in the eyes, like, I'll be honest, man. Every day I know you get uglier and uglier, and I take another swipe at him with booming blade this time.
Okay.
Which is not great.
This is not good.
Sorry, lost it. There it is. So plus 7 to hit. So 13 to hit.
13 to hit does not hit.
That tracks. And then I take, like, as I take a slice, I'm like backpedaling. So if we're doing movement, I backpedal my way around towards the opening.
You can move your way around. So now the table is essentially between you and them, and your back is towards like the staircase to the door, or staircase up and out, if you want that to be the case.
Yeah. And then I just keep my eye on them, and I keep just backpedaling and in combat with them. What do they do next?
Okay. So they, with the table between them, they flip one of the daggers up in the air and they throw it at you. So that's going to be 13 plus 6. That's a 19.
That hits.
This dagger sinks into your shoulder, and you immediately feel it start going numb the second that it hits you. And you recognize this dagger from the pummel is the same dagger that you found before.
Okay, as I'm backing up and kind of, are they chasing after me or no?
Yeah, so they're kind of as you're backpedaling and they throw the dagger, they kind of one hand hurdle themselves parkour style over this table and are coming at you now.
Okay. As I'm backpedaling up the steps at this point, got the dagger in my arm, like, hell, you just saved me a trip. I was going to try to steal one of these, and I just leave it in there. And as I'm backpedaling, I take...
By the way, damage for that is 13. And you don't have any resistances to poison or anything like that, do you?
Woof. I doubt it. I do not. So 13 damage. Let me
Yes.
do that because I don't want to miss it.
However, you guys still should have. No, I lied. I did not cast aid today. Never mind. Moving forward.
As I'm backpedaling, am I towards the top of the stairs yet?
Yes, yeah, you've kind of gotten towards the top of the stairs, and they're coming at you. So if you want to break and run, I probably would.
As I'm backpedaling up the stairs, I get to the top of the stairs and I look over to the handle that we use to open the door, and I look at him and go, man, just sometimes you're not quick enough, and I pull the handle.
Yes, awesome.
That's what I was hoping.
Yeah, so there you can see them running up the stairs at you, and the floor slides closed over the top of them. They don't get caught in it, but it before they get halfway up the stairs, they're right there, and that thing slides shut. And
while that is happening, I run over to that chest that what's his face threw us the nasty healing potions from earlier. And I open that and I just start like digging through it looking for a healing potion of any kind.
Yes. Do an investigation check.
Oh, that's a nat 1.
You grab a really brown, the first one you see is just a very brown potion that looks like maybe it was a potion of healing at one point in time, but it seems a little bit past its expiration date. Maybe a couple
I'm gonna roll to see if I drink it. No, I don't. Okay, tight. I look at him like, oh, Jesus. And I throw it, or, oh, Morden. I throw it against the wall. And
it hits the floor and just smokes. You can see it like scalding into the ground.
I'm glad I didn't drink that one. And I run out the room. And as soon as I get out the door, I like make a bunch of loud footsteps off the patio, like off the like little porch area in the front. But I immediately turn the corner and duck and just hide, like crouch and hide, and just wait to see if they get out and run past.
Yes. So you're not there very long before you hear what sounds like someone kind of like drop, like just kind of drop from like maybe a foot up in the air and kind of like land heavily on the wood floor inside, and then you hear the creaking. And as you are watching, what looks like the form of Luther comes walking out of the front of the Luther's Legends, and is kind of looking around, and then walks kind of over into the darkness between two of the buildings, and you see the like it drop, the guys drop, and you see the red masked like leather armored person, and then you see them just kind of dip around the side of the building.
I follow them at a safe distance, but as I start to follow them, I send a message basically to Poe and say, go get help. And Poe is going to hunt for Rangrim and Kazmo, and whoever he sees first, he's just going to start pecking them in the head, and hopefully they recognize my bird.
Okay.
Well, you would know that we went
check against your perception. Oh my god, that's so good.
You would know that you would know that we went to Mash's, by the way.
True. 14.
And nat 20.
Yeah, that's
shit.
I think that was
nat 20.
Two.
This is, by the way, this is dice from the original Dungeons Box Kickstarter. But yeah, so nat 20, and so you get around the edge of the building, and they should be there. You are adept at tracking people, and you get around the edge of that building, and they are just gone. And it's probably the most terrifying thing for you, because you're like, as someone who tracks other people, you're like, am I now being tracked right now? Like, you don't know where they are, and you don't. So you're now essentially standing in the darkness behind this building, and you don't know where they're at.
I throw the I throw the double-bladed scimitar on my back, kind of bind it. I pull the dagger out of my shoulder, and I'm holding it in a ready position inside my sleeves, my like oversized sleeves. I start walking over to Madge's. I just start yelling out for Rangrim and Kazmo. Rangrim! Kazmo! Where the hell are you? I walk that way. Do I get there unharmed?
Yes, you are able to get to the Iron Woman, and Rangrim and Kazmo. You hear Glyn yelling at you from down the street. And it's not very far, so
Yeah, we're just down the road. Whatever.
Essentially, you're moving from location 10 to location 5. So
Right.
It's the Iron Maiden. I kick down the door, and I have or not the door, but I kick in the door, and I take the dagger, and I kind of like throw it onto Magic's counter. I'm like, hey, we didn't have to go too far to find us a version of it. They actually came our way.
What?
Where did you find it?
What?
In
How?
my shoulder.
What happened? Well, clearly you just pulled it out of your shoulder.
Well, Cosmo, it seemed like you woke up on the wrong side of the bed this morning and went all crazy and went to attack me. But
Me? What are you talking about? I was right here with Rangrim.
I know you've never been that nice to me before, so I knew something was up. It looks like our little masked friends got a way of getting into rooms without necessarily raising any alarms. I've got similar capabilities to myself where you're able to kind of look like someone else without necessarily needing to be that other person.
Well, I've seen you turn into Rangrim, which was freaky. But
as soon as you come in, Madge actually like looks alarmed by what you're talking about and goes around and like is shutting all of the doors with like the wooden coverings and is locking them all and is going to the door and bars it and is just like, all right, shit is fucking whack right now, guys.
Magic could not have said it better myself.
what else is new?
Maybe I could get a little bit of attention to this open wound that is just kind of leaking onto my nice silk robe. Anybody?
Is that really the
you
first
can
thing you're
feel-
worried about?
You can feel
Very
like
much
this
so,
numbness
yes.
kind of spreading up your shoulder and down your arm.
So Rangrim would walk over to him, and would I be aware of he's under any other sort of condition other than just like damage?
I think that you know that there's probably the fact that it was a drow blade, and has that same drow poison. You know that it has something to do with that, but it's not like any kind of magical damage. It's something that you could heal with your abilities.
Okay, so
You
I would
assume you
just
could.
I would place my hand over the wound and it's gonna be okay, Elf. It's gonna be okay. Daddy's here, and I'd cast Cure Wounds on his arm.
Papa?
Yeah,
That'd make that
you
as
can
awkward.
feel the wounds kind of, or the wound knit together, and then you can feel like the warm, like your arm seems to like warm back up again, and you have full feeling in it.
Start like rotating. It's like, man, Rangrim, thank you. I will I'll hold on to your hot dogs whenever you need it, man. I look over to Madge. Madge, you got any experience with these masked crusaders, if you will, or what the hell's going on here?
Dude, I don't fucking know. Are you kidding me? I came from Nuarda. I don't know anything about this fucking continent. Are you kidding me?
Cosmo, you have any cases of assassins in town lately? That's just some nicety that popped up as soon as I got here.
Not that I can recall. Right now, this is just number 2. And based by the looks of that dagger, it looks like it's the same one.
I hand the dagger, or I guess I would kind of like point to it to Madge and Rangrim's like, can you guys make something like this, or is this something you've ever seen before? Inside of Brongrim's face.
I haven't seen daggers like that in 30 plus years since I left the Underdark. That's some type of weird obsidian Underdark steel that the drow use. I don't like things like that. Willing to bet it's enchanted too.
Well, we know a couple people that might be able to help us track that piece down. Why don't we go see my friend Pops again, see if he's got anything for us. Maybe he'll be able to put some focus. But Madge, you're gonna have to let us out, and I strongly recommend you do exactly what you did. And if you see one of us and we're not with the other two, you do not open that door.
I think we need a code word. What kind of what's our code word?
Right, so here's the password. Whoever comes to the door first, if somebody's wanting to come in, you say, "Who let the dogs out?" And then you say, "Doss did."
I mean, that just makes perfect sense to me.
Works for me. Yeah, I love that guy's really dope hot dogs that I think he makes out of suspect things.
He absolutely does.
They are a bit suspect, but
meat's not usually purple.
right, but it tastes.
I always wonder about that.
It does
I
taste
had
good.
7 of them today.
Oh God, I think you
And-
might die.
He didn't
Yeah.
even buy them today. This was like 2 days ago.
I was wondering why you kind of had a more purple tint to you today.
Fake news.
Yeah, and I think I'm generating a type of odor.
Well,
Is that you?
I can smell it, and I think it's me.
It's seeping out of you like some sort of viscous fluid.
I don't hate it.
It's kind of like it's like a hot dog water smell. It's kind of foul. I'm glad you have your own
Noir.
separate room.
that's gross.
If there wasn't a murderous monster outside, I probably would have you sleep outside tonight.
This would be a much bigger problem.
It's true.
That's kind of
It's
you.
true.
All right, man. I just feel like letting us out. We got to go check in with our buddy Pops. Might be a good
Yeah, she
idea to
go-
let a couple people to close their doors.
Rangrim's
she goes over to
actually
the door.
going to stay.
Oh, Rangrim's gonna stay?
Rangrim's going to stay. I'm going to ask Glyn. Glyn, can I see the thing?
The dagger
The-
that I pulled out of my shoulder.
No, the
thing?
ring you took off the man's dead body.
Okay, well, there's a couple different ways you could have.
well,
gone about
they,
that,
you
but-
didn't
and I
have to
hand him-
talk. Yeah.
That was as tactfully as I'm used to.
Strong argument, and I hand him Rangrim's ring.
What? Rangrim, sometimes I like the elf more.
Sometimes I like the elf more.
That's fair.
I hate elves, and I walk out.
Nice.
Rangrim's going to spend the next hour using his artisan's blessing to create a duplicate of Bongrim's signet ring.
Dope.
Kazmo, you mind accompanying me? Might be easier if we do a little 2v1 on our sneaky friend, but you mind accompanying me to Pops? See if we can get this dagger identified. See if we can maybe put a trace on it.
It's kind of late. You really think Pops is still up?
You know those little waves that follow him? It's cocaine. And I just start walking.
He's got heavy cocaine energy.
Right. Well, I'll follow you then. You lead the way.
Okay. Canonically in our game, it's necrocane.
Necrocaine, that's right.
Right.
Yeah. So Rangrim, they leave. You, Madge puts the heavy bar back in the door, and you're kind of focusing on your signet ring. Is there anything you want to do in the meantime, or you're just kind of like doing your work? Your force.
No,
work?
it takes about an hour to complete the whole ritual to make the thing. So I'm just focusing on the ring in front of me and using the last piece of the doorknob to.
Gotta go
welcome.
get another doorknob.
You are
gotta
welcome.
use the rest of the doorknob and mold that into, and it makes like a perfect copy of anything as long as I have the original one during the ritual. So I can't make it from memory, but if I have the original thing,
Yep.
I can make an exact copy of it.
Yeah. The only difference with yours is that it's going to be made out of iron because that's
Because
the
his
way
was brass, right?
it's like a bronze or brass.
Bronze. Okay, yeah. We're not
So
looking for
that-
looks. We're just looking for stamps, I think.
Sweet.
Right.
Yeah. So, Kazmo, Glyn, you all are making your way over. Are you taking any kind of precautionary measures or just keeping an eye out, looking around?
Yeah, I would be like on the highest of alerts, knowing that I just got stabbed. Like anytime that someone, I mean, it's laid out too, but anytime someone even
Yeah.
like begins to
probably-
walk my direction, I'm like veering us away.
Probably like 10 o'clock at this point. It's definitely getting later. If you guys can both roll me perception checks,
Sure.
since you're on like high alert.
I am on the highest alert. 21.
21.
What do you got, Kazmo?
I have a 19.
Pretty good, both of you. So you are just absolutely like on head on a swivel the entire time you're walking there.
Nothing gets by me.
It's a little bit of a walk. Yeah, because we're looking at Crockle Pops. That's location 8. And so you get about
Oh, yeah. See it.
2/3 of the way there when you start hearing like alarm bells going off over from the barracks, and you see a bunch of movement from guards or from soldiers, kind of like the imperial section of the town over there at the imperial barracks over at 2. So opposite side of the town. So you can't really see much. You can just hear like people running around and rushing. And you can see that there seems to be movement going towards like location 7 or location 11, like kind of north. Just kind of people, you can see shapes of and figures of people moving through the town. With like, you can see lanterns and whatever else and lights. It's very far away from you, but you can hear people yelling and alarms going off and them moving kind of northwards there. Are you continuing over to Crackle Pops, or what are you doing?
Glyn, that doesn't seem good.
Is that the direction of Kazmo's house?
No.
You can't really tell. It is. I mean, it's
no, because I'm over by Iron Woman.
It wouldn't be directly. Like if they were going straight to Cosmo's house, they'd probably be going down and around, and it doesn't seem like a direct path, but it does seem like it's just kind of like a lot of people are leaving the barracks and going kind of almost towards the Matic, more that direction.
Okay.
They're just moving north.
I looked at Cosmo and said, I agree with you, man, but I think we only got a couple chances to try to track this person down. They're going to keep hitting people, so if you want to go after him, you can, but we're stronger together, and I need to get to Pops. We need to see if we can't figure out where the hell this dagger came from and where we can find it.
Well, I suppose if we can make it quick, I just, I'm worried about me town, and we gotta go fast. So we're already most of the way there. I don't wanna split up with already having you been attacked, and Rangrim's already on his own with Mej. Let's go. We gotta go quickly. But if we need to go, then I'm gonna pull you.
So we run to Pops and we bang on the door. Pops, open up. Bang, 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 bang.
It's just like a couple minutes of silence, and then you, hello, who's there?
Open. It's Glyn. Open the door.
Glyn. Oh yeah. Hold on 1 second, and you hear like things, levers and stuff moving around, and then the door goes and kind of opens up on the front of Crackle Pops, and you're able to walk inside.
Glyn, I'm gonna stay out here and keep watch on all of this motion. Make it quick.
Pops, we got a pretty serious situation going on. As soon as we leave this place, you close the door and you don't open it until you hear from me specifically. And I will be with Kazmo, but we need you to help track this piece down. And I put the dagger on the table. Say, is there anything discerning about this that you can maybe identify and give us a lead? We're really in some trouble.
Yeah, let me take a look real quick. And so he takes it over and he's inspecting it underneath. Like, he's more of a artificer kind of person, of course, a tinkerer. So he's looking at it from more of a mechanical standpoint through like a bunch of different lenses and everything of that sort. And then he kind of like realizes that there's some sort of sheen on the blade, and he pulls out like a little chemistry kit, and he's kind of diluting it, and he's pulling it off, and he's messing around. He's doing this relatively quickly, and I don't really know what you're looking for. There's poison on this blade. It seems like, based on the symbology on it, it seems like it's something made in the Underdark. What are you looking for?
I was hoping you might be able to give an owner, maybe cast some of your enchantments, maybe help it find its own owner. But if you're all out of
that's interesting. I don't know if I'm the right person to do that. Unfortunately, I don't have any kind of much tracking expertise, but I do appreciate you thinking of me. But I really don't know. I really don't know what I can do. Maybe with enough time, I could find a way to use it as a oh man, maybe I could. And you can see that like he's kind of now his thinking is like going to like, oh, like I could use this. Like I could use it to maybe I could make some sort of compass where like it points, and I could track down the person who that's a really cool idea. I think
As
that
he- As he says compass, Glyn goes, "You mean something kind of like this?" And I pull the brass compass that I stole from the reliquary, and I put it down on the desk. Say, "This may be able to help us out."
Oh wow, this is pretty cool. It's got two, so it seems like it has two points. One seems to be pointing north. The other one, okay. I've seen these before. It points to what you want it to point to.
Is this that
got
nat
built
20
in-
thing that he stole?
Yes. So
Okay,
essentially, what Glyn got from the nat 20 stealing from the reliquary was he picked up a bronze compass that has two needles in it. One points to true north all the time. It can't be messed with by magic. The other one, it only activates once per day, and you can essentially cast locate item on this, and then you can it will point you in a direction of something. So using this compass, if you wanted to point to the other one that that they still have, the other dagger, you could use this.
Do I have to be like familiar with the item, or just have to know what the item?
You have the item in
looks
front
like?
of you. The two daggers look the same.
Okay, yeah. So like, all right, Pops, you go ahead and tune that bad boy up, and you tell me how to find this guy's twin.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like you have everything you need right here with this. Are you taking this dagger with you? I can tinker with it if you want me to, but I don't think you even need me right now.
Pops, think the less involved you are, the better. Thank you. And remember, close this door until we come back. And I just turn bolt out the door. I just kind of like grab Cosmo by like the collar and just start dragging him. It's like,
You don't have to tug on me, Elf. I was already waiting for you.
And I'm just watching the needle, trying to see which way the smaller needle is.
So you have
tracking.
an hour. It tracks for an hour, and then it's done for the day. So essentially, it's you will it, or do you want to do? Okay, so there's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can do it with like a word like that you want to use, or you can just like be like, I'm willing it to go find this other item, kind of silently.
Yeah, we can use a command word.
Okay.
Do you have one, or do I get to pick one?
You get to make one up. Yeah. This is totally RP stuff. But if it's not
Fritz.
the Hannah hammock, then I don't know.
it's Snickle Fritz. I named the compass Snickle Fritz.
Nice.
Snickle Fritz, and then it just starts to pivot.
Yeah, so it you can see that it has pointed directly towards the barracks. It's not. So it's okay. I just gave you too much information, but it's pointed directly that way. But it's also, you guys are essentially, between you and the barracks is the Boulderfist Mining Company as well. But it's pointed directly that direction.
Okay. Look to Cosmo. It's like, we need to grab Rangrim before we get the hell out of here. What do we do? D2 or we keep moving?
We need to. Well, let's go move to go get Rangrim, and then we'll turn and go back down. We're gonna need him.
Full sprint to the Iron Woman, just bang on the door.
Us dwarves, we're natural sprinters. Let's go.
Yeah, so within a pretty short period of time, maybe like 15, 20 minutes, you're able to get over there.
Bang on the door.
Yep.
How much time has elapsed since they left?
Probably only, I would say maybe 40 minutes, something like that, because they weren't with Pops very long, and they took them like 15 minutes to travel over there.
Okay. So we get to the door, and
hey, who let the dogs out?
Doss did.
All right, that's a dumbass thing, but yeah, come on in.
Rangrim, there's something.
Rangrim's laughing hysterically. The guy forgot about the code word. I didn't know what you guys was talking about.
Rangrim, there's something going on down at the barracks. There's a whole mob of people running around. We gotta go.
We gotta go right now.
Well, yeah, there's a whole mob of people. You heard what I said. We gotta I mean, are you in the middle or something?
Oh well, I was making a shit, and he just takes the original signet ring, puts it in his pocket, and just follows suit. Rangrim's down for a good scrap.
Let's.
So what is the like? Where are you going? Like, give me a points of kind of how you're moving. Are you going down into the lower levels and then back up?
Okay.
Are you kind of running around the same levels?
So tell me this. What might be a better question for Glyn to ask? If we're standing at the Iron Woman at 5, is it pointing down or is it pointing to our left?
You are watching it move. The needle is moving from 2 more towards 6.
So I'm running wherever the needle points. So if it means I'm like jumping down layers, like levels, and climbing up levels, like I am not, it is a straight line for me. I am not worried about an obstacle getting in my way. If there are like people, I am like just shoving them. If there is like a building, I am going over it. Like there is not anything that's going to stop me from getting to wherever this needle's pointing.
Okay, so
and I'm running with my double-bladed scimitar out.
So you're running down through the town, and you're kind of seeing as it's moving, and you're starting to run more and more down, and more towards the mine. And you get onto the lower level, and you realize that it's pointing down into the entrance of the Boulder Fist, like into the mine itself, the main mine.
Okay. Do we see any of the captains? Do we see Chesk, or do we see any Boulder Fist? What about the Imperial Guards?
The Imperial Guards, as you were running by, they seem to be kind of coalesced. Like there's a ton of guard activity over at the Matic. There are just a ton of people over there, and there seems to be something going on, but you don't really know what's going on. You just see that there's a ton of guards, or not guards, soldiers, Imperial soldiers.
Right. That was basically my next question. Is we hit the entrance of the mine, and we see
no one there.
We hear that there's a mob or whatever moving up towards the Matic.
They're already like surrounding it. We passed them more or less as we were kind of like sprinting down this way, following the needle. I imagine if they're moving from 2 to 9, it would have been like kind of a curve, or sorry, not 9, 4. It would have been kind of a curve. So we would have seen 13 and the people all piled up around it.
Yep.
So as we get to this door, the mining company, I look to Kazmo and say, Kazmo, Rangrim, we got an option. We go figure out what's hurting the town, or we figure out if we can't find who's behind all this. Compass is pointing down. It's where the sister is. Where do we go? What do you guys want to do?
Well, an elf will go underground where a dwarf won't.
I don't know, man. I felt this poison. It's not good, and I know that someone else is about to catch the same one. But looking over there, it looks like maybe someone already did. What do you think we should do, Kazmo?
Well, I feel compelled to go check on what's going on and see if I can try and bring some peace. Why don't the two of you head down into the mines, and I'll meet you down there. I got the password.
I don't know if I'm good splitting up right now. How about we do this? We'll come with you. We'll see what's happening to Matic, and I'll send Poe down, see if we can't find anything.
Are you sure? I know we don't want to split up because clearly somebody is posing as the rest of us, but I don't want to lose this tracker. I know there's only a time limit.
No, I don't think Glyn would know that either.
Okay.
I mean, you would have gotten that from.
Well, I know I know we don't want this guy to get away, and we don't want him to get back to wherever he might be going. But these mines, they're deep. They are very maze-like, and nobody knows them like Rangrim, I trust. But it might be. Who knows? I could get up to the medic, and it's nothing, and we would have lost our chance at finding the assassin.
I think we find out what's happening here. see if we can't help the people that we've met, and let's just pray that someone down below is not catching the worst of whatever's on the other end of that dagger.
Are you sure, Joe? Can you reach out to Joro?
I can send a letter. I can.
Do you have message?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I can send a letter on Poe. We can go from there, but it's got to be quick.
Well, it'll be real quick. We'll make it very fast, like 5 minutes.
I jot down on a note that says, "Message me when you get this." I roll it up and I attach it to Poe's foot, and I send him down to find Joro.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's going to take some time. So, are you waiting
and then
there?
Then we go to Matic.
Okay. Yeah. So you're able to get up to the Matic, and there is a lot of activity. It's actually just outside the Matic that there seem to be most of the people are clumped, and you can see that there's probably 10 to 15 soldiers that are there, and they seem to be centered mostly around Constable Hunter. As you get closer, and you see that they have a pretty bad slash across their stomach that is that seems to be not doing super well. Like they're kind of being supported by a couple soldiers right now, and they seem to be leading them towards the barracks.
Ooh, Constable Hunter has a slash?
Yeah, he has a slash like pretty much like straight across his stomach.
Okay.
Constable, what happened?
I don't. Something. I didn't even see it. Something came and got me as I was leaving the Matic. It was gone, and it was there and gone so quickly. I just felt the pain, and I feel like I'm going numb. He seems like he's like not doing super well.
Rangrim, see to his wounds, and then I go.
Say no more.
I come over to the guards and I say, "Guards, I heard some commotion come from down by the barracks. What happened?"
Down by the barracks, we essentially heard that Constable Hunter had been attacked, and most of the barracks should be almost empty right now. There shouldn't be many people there at all.
Well, we was across the way over at the town. We came running when we heard the noise, and it just seemed like something moved quickly up. There was a lot of noise.
That was all of us. We all the soldiers, as soon as we heard that Constable Hunter had been attacked, we headed over, and so there probably aren't more than one or two guards there are soldiers that are still at the barracks. You said you heard noise at the barracks itself?
Who's left at the barracks now?
There just should be a couple guards, a couple soldiers stationed there. No one that I'm going to name. They're just soldiers, and I'm not going to name them.
Soldier 1, Soldier 2. Constable, once Rangrim takes a look.
Greg and Gary, the soldiers.
That's fine. If they are painfully nameless, I will allow it.
Yeah, I don't want to name them after our listeners because I want the listeners.
That's fine. That's fine. No. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's fine. And then I turn back to Rangrim. Rangrim, have you seen these wounds before?
Does it resemble?
Yeah, the discoloration from the poison, you can immediately tell.
Is one of them drown knives again?
Is I got nothing. Somebody else.
Constable.
At this point, I have cast Cure Wounds to try and like seal them up a bit. Hopefully, prevent the dying.
You're. So, how much is he healed for?
So it's a D8 plus 4. 10.
Yeah, no, that's great. You're able to like kind of like put your hand on his stomach, and you can see it kind of stitched together. It's like it caught him underneath the plate mail, and so it was a pretty good cut through the leather, and so that's still there, but it's you can tell that you're able to take care of this so that he's no longer in danger, and you can tell that Constable Hunter starts feeling much better. He's like, oh my god, all right. There is something nasty in this town. The one thing I did see was that it had a mask on that looked very much like that symbol that was on your wall earlier today.
That's well, we want to tell you more, but if we will tell you more, but we have to go now. You feel okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna be fine, but we need to figure this out. Like, if there's something going on like in town right now, and there's a killer on the loose, and it's tied to what's going on, I need to ask you some questions.
I want to answer your questions, but we are on a chase, and hopefully we will have even more answers. We will check in on with you at sunrise, and
here, take two soldiers with you. Gary and Greg, go with them.
Right. Come on, Gary. Come on, Greg. Let's go. And then we're going back to the mines.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, we can just kind of expedite this. You guys are running down and following the compass still. And
as I'm following it, I'm asking Gary about his kids, just trying to really learn his background. So I've got emotional investment in him.
Oh yeah, I got a couple kids that really just just trying to raise them right and just doing everything we can.
I really hope we can get you back to them nice and safe shortly after this excursion.
Yeah, I'm sure this red shirt I'm wearing is not going to have any effect on anything.
Right, no effect, none whatsoever. So we
yeah, so you get down into you push past the first door, essentially the first gate into the mine. It's open. You get through there. There are a couple people around, but it seems to be there's no one like on the ground level. They're all up on the parapets, and you can see a couple people moving around, but it's not. It seems to be. I mean, it's the middle of the night, and no one's really on duty. So they're essentially just guards. Yeah, they're essentially just Boulder Fist Mining Company like guard militia that are manning the parapets on top of the walls. So you make it past gate, the gate 3, the first gate, and then you are at gate 2, and Glyn, you see a figure move out through the door, the same door that you saw her come through earlier in the day. And you see that stocky, light-haired, like human woman that you saw earlier in the day that smirked at you. And you see them open the door, like essentially come out of the door and close it behind them, and then turn around and just see you 5, essentially.
We're just like running straight at her. Yep. Is she wearing any like Boulder Fist mining gear?
Yep. She looks exactly like she did before.
Is the needle pointing at her?
Yes.
When I walk by her, does the needle continue to point at her? Does it turn with, like, if we start to walk by her, does it like turn and point back at her?
I will say you don't really know. I mean, if you are trying to run past her, then you can do that. If you're running straight at her, it's going to continue to point at her.
No, I don't fucking know who she is. I'm going to run right by her.
Okay. Yeah. So if you're, okay.
Watching the needle though.
Okay. Yeah. So as you run towards the gate, then she continues to move out back towards the entrance or the exit from the mine into the town. And as that happens, you get about a couple steps past her, and you notice that the needle is pointing directly at her.
So as I notice that and the needle turns, I grab the same dagger and I just pivot 180 and I overhand chuck it just at her back. And I say, "You drop something." Throw it at her back.
Drop something.
Yeah, roll a range attack.
That's gonna hit.
15
it is. Plus, it's a thrown weapon, so plus 7, 23.
Ooh, yes, that absolutely hits. How much damage is that? It would be the
I don't know.
So I'll do it. So it's the damage from the dagger, which is a D4, and then it's a D8 for the poison.
Okay.
Plus all your bonuses.
Oh wow, it's terrible. So 3 off the weapon, and then since it's range plus 5, so 8 damage.
Is there any sneak attack damage?
I'll say that. I'll say that there is, yeah, because it's a range attack, and you took them by surprise.
Neat.
My Siri
That's
just wanted to look
another-
up what sneak attack damage was, by the way.
Another 6 damage, so 14 damage total.
Okay, yeah. So this knife, this dagger buries itself in the back of her shoulder blade, just below her shoulder blade, kind of not just off center in the middle of her back. And just for a
Right.
second, actually, I'm gonna roll for Constitution or a Constitution saving throw. Okay, the guise drops immediately, and you can see that it is looking at the back of this person, long white hair, black leather and metal. Very tight armor, very roguish armor, and then you can see they turn around and look at you, and you just see that red mask.
Oh shit.
And
Boys,
I think we can roll for initiative.
Fuck, dude. Okay. All right. Rolling for initiative.
oh shit, she's gonna be so high on that initiative.
Dexy Rogues.
This gonna be initiative is gonna be an 18.
Paladin with high initiative is always a good thing.
But
We
that's
got Rangrim and Glyn.
I got 15.
I have an 8.
All right. It is definitely going to be them up first.
Don't forget about Gary and Greg.
Yeah, Gary and Greg are going to go. Don't you worry. I'll roll for them. That's a 3.
God damn it, Gary.
Okay. And then G and G will go last. Okay, awesome. So the assassin is going to pull the other dagger out, and then actually she pulls the dagger and she's holding it in her hand, but she kind of flicks her arm down, and you see this like hand crossbow, small crossbow come out, and she just turns and just fires a hand crossbow directly at you, Glyn.
What a dick.
That is going to be a 17 plus 3.
That hits.
And that is going to be just a little bit of damage, just like a little small amount. That is going to be 8 damage.
Okay.
As this little bolt that's only about like 8 to 10 inches long kind of buries in your arm.
That hurts.
And you do feel kind of that slight numbing. It's a lot less potent this time, but it is kind of spreading slowly from that point.
It's like, oh, you dirty weapons, gross.
And that's going to bring us to Kazmo's turn.
Okay. So for Kazmo's turn, I was just looking at it. Just looking. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so sorry. They paint me so like how so obviously she's headed towards the exit of the mine, right? Or they, whatever, the assassin.
You both, all of you are pretty close to each other. You are essentially all kind of clustered around within 15 feet of the entrance to gate, like around gate 2. That's where you're
Right.
at. You're all very close to gate 2.
Okay, and they are like 15 feet from us.
Yes.
Okay.
You're between them and the gate.
Okay. Let's see then. I will move up to them. I'll use my movement to run up to them. I pull my war pick and my axe, and then they're prone, right?
No.
Mm-mm.
No, because I thought
No.
they got
They are
up.
they are very ready to take
okay.
you fuck uptown.
I sorry, I must have missed that when I was.
No. Choo choo. The Dunktown train has left the station, and you all are on it.
Well, that's fine.
I don't even know what that means.
Fair to get fucked, so.
We fighting.
Yeah,
Get
y'all are
wrecked,
about to
bitch.
be promoted to the mayors of Fucksville.
Yeah, bring that shit on right now. Let's see. Oh, right. Okay. So I will roll to hit. And then.
Good start. I like that.
Thanks. I try. It's gonna be a 17 to hit.
Yes, that just hits.
Great. And then I'll roll me some damage. Haven't done this in a while. My dice is a little dusty. So that's gonna be 8 damage. And then
Yeah. You're just swinging down on them with your war pick.
well, they're not prone, so I'm just swinging at them, I guess.
Right, you're just swinging at them, yeah.
And
a downward arc.
in a lethal type way. And then I mutter your fights with. So I say your fights with me, and then they have to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
Like
Saving throw. That is only an 11.
Motherfucker! You are. The target falls prone.
Wait, what did you do?
I casted command. I speak a one-word command to a creature you see within range. The target must succeed, which it failed. So they must grovel.
Oh. Okay, yeah, so they're not going to go prone. They're going to go down to one knee.
It says the target falls prone.
Okay, they're prone as far as the game goes, but the stat of prone, but for flavor, they are down on one knee.
Yes. It says then it ends its turn, but it's not their turn. So
I think So how does that work? They're not stuck that way?
I don't know. Says here. I'll read.
Probably do it on them.
I'll read the rest of it. It says some typical commands and their effects follow. You might issue a command other than one described here. Oh, wait a minute. If the target can't follow, never mind. Nope. Yeah.
They just skip their turn. I'm curious.
That one might be up to you because they probably would have to make another wisdom saving throw at their turn. Maybe?
I think it's more that if you held your action to cast the spell, and like you did it at the start of their turn would just end.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, they probably have to try to break it at the start of their next turn.
It is command the spell. I don't know how to pronounce Sajukor.
I also think that it would work in the way that like Tasha's Hideous Laughter would work, whereas if they get attacked, they would get another save.
If I get attacked or if they get attacked?
They get attacked.
Well, if you get attacked, if it's a
it works on the target's turn, so you do have to like hold the action. It looks like
it's a bonus action, so I don't know.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Oh, it's a bonus action.
Wait a minute.
Target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or follow the command on its next turn.
Wait.
Awesome.
On its next turn. So its next turn, it falls prone.
Correct.
That's a cool spell.
And it misses its turn.
Wait a minute. Hold on. We can retro this if we want to. I was clicked on a different spell when I saw that it was a bonus action. It is an action. I can cast the other.
It is. Yeah.
You already attacked.
I can cast the other spell if you want me to. It's the same.
Yeah. You wouldn't be able to.
So here's what we do instead then. What I was on was compelled duel, which means that they failed the saving throw. The creature is drawn to me, compelled to draw by my divine demand. It has disadvantage on attack rolls against creatures other than me, and must make a wisdom saving throw each time it attempts to move to a space that is more than 30 away from
Okay. Yep, essentially, you come at me, bro, them, and now they have to fight you.
Yeah. Basically.
Cool. I dig it. Yeah, that's fine. Let's do that. Yeah, so they are not prone.
No. Bummer.
That
That's
brings
cool.
us to Glyn.
Yeah,
What you gonna
no.
do?
Yes,
Go.
it does. So I go ahead and I flank the hell out of they. And with my double-bladed scimitar, I'm going to take a strike from behind. And I'm assuming I have advantage because it's flanking them.
Yep.
And that's going to be a dirty 20. Yeah, dirty 20 to hit.
I don't think you would. I don't know if flanking works like that, where you get advantage. I think you would just get your sneak attack.
She'd be engaged with Kazmo, so he'd have advantage.
Thank
Okay.
you.
And sorry, I only rolled 1d20. I just meant it for the sake of sneak attack. I didn't roll 2 d20s. I only rolled 1.
Okay, gotcha. Perfect.
So it's 2d4s plus 5, which should be 12 damage on the first hit.
Okay.
Plus sneak attack, which would be another 5 damage, 17 damage total. And then with my bonus action, I'm going to do like a big old flurry above my head and then bring down the other side of it. And as I'm bringing it down, be like, actually, your fight's with me. And I just take it like right across her back.
Nice.
For another bonus action to attack. See if I even hit. That one probably doesn't hit. 12 on that one.
It may.
Holy shit.
This is.
Wait, it doesn't hit. No, that doesn't. Yeah, that doesn't hit.
Okay, and I just swipe like right above her head, and I just miss as she kind of ducks out.
Okay.
Awesome.
That's my turn.
Rangrim.
Okay, so Rangrim is going to do something a little different. I'm going to use my bonus actions, Searing Smite, and my Warhammer is now emblazed with Holy Fire. And I'm just going to run right up to her and smash her in the face. And if I hit, she's set on fire.
Okay, awesome.
It takes 1d6 damage and then is literally on fire as long as I hold concentration on the spell, and takes 1d6 at the start of every turn.
Okay.
That is, I think this hits. This is a 15 plus 6, so 21.
Yes, that definitely hits.
21.
Boom, boom, boom. So, I always forget my Warhammer does. I think it's a D8. Yeah, D8 plus 3. 11 with the Warhammer.
Yeah, the assassin is hurting currently.
And then another 2 fire damage.
Okay.
And now she is so on fire.
Sweet. Okay, so Rangrim, you run up, and when you hit them in the face with your Warhammer. You knock them across the side of the face, and this mask goes flying, and they kind of like look down to the side, and they're kind of grabbing their face. And when they look up, you are absolutely like taken like aback, and you don't really know what to do, because the face that you see in front of you is a face you haven't seen in about 50 years. Although she's older, you see your daughter in front of you.
Oh, snap.
I saw that coming.
And with that, when you hit her across the face, you can see that like her eyes, like they're not like dull or anything like that, but they do seem like black. Like there are no pupils, like they are just like completely black. And as they kind of come up and they look at you, you see them just turn to mist, and you look behind you, and they are on the other side of the gate, and they're making a full sprint, being about 30 feet past you now, and they are running deeper into the mines. And then you see them essentially like turn invisible, and that is the last you see of them. So yeah, that is. I think that's where we're gonna end tonight's session.
I'm gonna have to kill your daughter, Rangrim.
Son of a